Sure. Okay. All right. So welcome everybody. Thanks for being on tonight. And I hope you have your questions ready because I really want you guys to be able to fill your date, not only fill your date book, but just feel confident in booking parties from your parties. So who's excited about that? Just go like that. Okay, good. So, I'm just going to start talking and go through some things with you guys. And then, you guys can ask questions. And this does not have to be an hour. We can go as little or as long as we want. But the first thing that I want to share with you guys is a little bit about what not to do. And that is my story. So this is good for new consultants. You may not know this about me. But so when I started Mary Kay back in 2004. Oh, hey, Catherine. So I started in October. In November, so I knew two people in the whole state of Minnesota, pretty much. I mean, girlfriend wise, I had my college friend Carrie and my college friend Stacia. And so my director challenged me to get 8 parties up. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know that many people, but I actually thought that I had to have 8 parties up. So I was like, okay, well, I have to do this. So I asked my 2 college friends to do a party. I asked a whole bunch of people back from my hometown in Wisconsin, which is over by Green Bay, so it's like an hour away, to do parties. And so in November of that year, I did a power start, which is 30 faces in 30 days. I think I held 8 parties. My profit was like $800 or $900 that month. And I was excited. But what I did not do is I did not book parties from my parties, and I did not ask for referrals. So now, in December, I decided that I wasn't going to do a lot with my business because it was Christmas and I didn't feel like it and whatever. And I did this like nursing home gift thing and that was it. Now it's January. I have nobody to call. I have no bookings. I know nobody else to ask. At least I thought. And if you've heard my story before, I almost quit Mary Kay my 3rd month. Okay, so this might give some of you hope, especially if you're, oh, Katie, I can see you now.
Yeah.
If you're a new consultant, that, you can kind of push your way out of it. And so I really want you guys to feel empowered that you can network through your parties, like book parties from parties and get referrals and do it the easy way instead of the way that I did it, which was not the easy way. So first thing I want to show you guys, I'm going to bring this up really quick. I know I've been talking a lot with the new consultants about this, but I want to reiterate it to everybody, I'm going to share my screen here for a second. Oh man, you get to see my really messy computer desktop. Okay, so this emotional cycle, can you guys all see this?
No.
Screens? Okay, so the emotional stages of a consultant. So everybody starts, I'm gonna get a little pen here, in excitement. So you're excited to be in Mary Kay. You're like, woohoo, everyone is gonna book with me. I love Mary Kay. So that's the excitement. And then, frustration happens, meaning, maybe a friend who said they would book with you isn't, and maybe, I don't know, maybe just people are not as receptive as you thought, or it wasn't quite as easy as I thought, which kind of leads you into this guy here, which is, they said it would be so easy. Oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. It's not. And then you get into this dangerous place called denial, which you kind of just get like an attitude, or you're just not seeing possibilities. You're procrastinating. Then fear sets in, and then it's kind of like, well, I'm not really good at this anyway, so I'm just gonna like not do it, and it's not for me. And then, okay, so this right here is when I almost quit Mary Kay because and it was funny because I remember my sales director even giving me a bunch of ideas to meet people, and I was just not willing to do it. So I'm going to draw a mean face here. So I was not seeing possibilities. And once I decided, I kind of made the decision, and this is why I'm such a big believer in inventory, because I remember going into my inventory closet and looking at all this stuff and going, okay, I've got inventory. Like, I do like this product. I do like this opportunity. I'm going to choose possibilities. And so that's when you start to get mad at yourself and you go, okay, seriously, it is so unlike me to not try something new or go, to the beginning and start over again. And so that's when you recommit and you decide, nope, I'm doing this and whatever. Now, as a new consultant, it might take you a good, week or two to go through this cycle. Once you've done it a couple times, like I can go through this whole cycle in 5 minutes or less, just like having a pity party, moving on, whatever. So what I want to share with you is, when you're at that point, if you ever get to that point in your business, my advice and what I would love is I want you to choose possibilities. Okay. So choosing possibilities in your business instead of frustration, because when you get frustrated, it's like you're so not open to receiving anything that anyone is telling you ever. And it's not a good place to be. So here's what I want to tell you. If you worked a job, if you work a job, who works a job, raise your hand. Okay, almost everybody on the call. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Okay. So if you worked a job, and let's say, especially when you were new, if you didn't know how to do something at the job, right? So I know some of you on here are nurses. So if you didn't know I didn't know the needles were. I know nothing about nursing. My sister-in-law was a nurse and I still don't know anything about nursing. You would ask somebody, you would work it out, you would figure things out, you would work hard and whatever, and you would get out of your comfort zone and you would figure it out because you're working on the job and because you have to figure it out. So it's interesting to me that we'll do that for someone else, but we won't do it for ourselves. So if we get stuck into something, it's so important to do that same thing, like give yourself the benefit of the doubt, reach out to somebody and get that advice that you need. So at that point in my business, once I got out of my own head, I chose possibilities. And so the story continues to, I did some of the ideas that we teach to meet women, and I did restaurant events, I did honoring working women. I'm not going to go through those today. That could be like a separate training that I would do. But I continued, even though I was getting leads, I continued to not get bookings for my parties and to not, I started getting referrals, but I was way too chicken to actually call them. So I actually became a sales director and earned a car. Remember, this is how not to do it. Not calling a single referral and hardly booking any parties from parties. That means every week I was out there getting leads and booking and getting leads and booking. Now, if you've ever gotten leads and booked, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. So that's the other thing I want you to do. I want you really quick to think of what is your favorite thing to do in the whole world. If you have a piece of paper, write it down really quick. Favorite thing to do in the whole world, or just think about it. Okay, now think about the worst part of your favorite thing in the whole world. So for example, I love to go on trips. Like love it. Love getting in the airplane, love going somewhere, love being on vacation. I freaking hate packing. Like you have no idea how much I hate packing and I hate unpacking. In fact, my suitcase typically sits in my room for, 3 weeks after I get home from a trip because I hate unpacking that much. So it does not matter what you do. There's always an aspect of what you do, the thing that you love that maybe isn't like your favorite aspect of that. So, so for me, getting leads is one of those things. Like I don't love it. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I love holding parties. I love meeting new women. I love the profit and like the income and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So here's my first question for you. If you're on this thing, have you really contacted everyone you know? I mean, really contacted them. So I work with a lot of new consultants, and a lot of times people will say, nope, I've asked everyone I know. And you know how I know that? Because I was that new consultant. I told my director, I'm like, no, I've asked everybody I know. And it was funny because then I was in a qualification process on Target for my car, and suddenly it was like all these people that I had never asked before suddenly appeared magically out of the woodwork. And so here's what I want to ask you about this particular piece. If I took something very precious to you, okay, now I'm going to be very nice to it. So if it's your dog or your mom or your kids, don't worry, I got lots of toys here. They're going to be treated really great. Like nothing's going to happen to them. But if I told you that you couldn't see this precious thing to you until you got 10 parties on your date book, how many of you would be able to find 10 people? Like you would go over the river and through the woods and whatever to find 10 women. You would be like, oh my gosh, like I have to see little mittens again. Like, will you book with me? And so I'm going to give you some tips. I think that, and I want to give Jenny Schmitz is on here. Actually a little high five, you Jenny, because Jenny's a brand new consultant and I was doing her kickoff party on Monday and she had asked a really good question. So I'm going to give you guys an answer to that. And her question was, how do you contact people that you haven't talked to in years without being like, hey, I haven't talked to you in years, but yet I started a business and I want to do a party with you. Okay. So who would be excited to know how to do that? Anybody? Okay, everybody, good. So I'm going to go through that. So one thing too that I just want to just quick is, and I think so much of this business is mental, so that's why I talk about this kind of stuff a lot. I want you to start thinking temporary thoughts. Okay, so thoughts are things, right? Thoughts are things. So if you say to yourself, I can't book or I can't find anybody, guess what keeps showing up in your life? No bookings and no one to call, right? So instead, thinking a temporary thought, like saying something like, you know what, I'm not good at booking now, but I'm going to practice and get better. Or saying, you know what, I don't know a lot of people, but I'm going to learn how to meet people and I'm going to get better and I'm going to practice it. So just kind of having that temporary thought, I think, is really important too. So, first tip that I'm going to give you is to answer kind of Jenny's question, which she had submitted, and you guys are going to have an opportunity to ask things here. How do you contact someone you haven't known in a very, very long time? Now, first off, you might have to get crafty on Facebook because you may or may not have their phone number. Typically, we don't have their phone number. So I actually asked some of my top sales director girlfriends how they do this. And this is my favorite idea. Now, if you're a new consultant, one of the most fun things that you can do to help yourself get bookings is to do a portfolio project. Now, if you don't know what a portfolio project is, it's basically when you're doing makeovers and stuff with people, you take a before and after photo. Okay. And it's kind of fun. Like if you actually print them out and you put them in a book, it kind of creates like I used to actually keep my portfolio stuff in a binder and show people. So if maybe you're doing a professional woman's portfolio, or I've done a bridal portfolio before. And it's kind of like if you went to beauty school or something, they'd want you to have before and afters of your, what you can do. Like this is your hair before and here's your coloring after. So you could do a portfolio project, and how you would word that. And I'm gonna send this to you guys. I'm gonna text it out when we're done here. But how you would word this would be something like, let's say Alicia is my friend that I haven't seen in 100 years. I would say, hey, Alicia, it's Emily. We haven't talked in forever. Life has gotten busy. And I just started my Mary Kay business, and I was thinking about people that I really wanted to reconnect with and feature in my new consultant portfolio of before and after pictures. And I was just thinking about you, and I just thought that this would be a great way for us to reconnect and just kind of have some fun. And I could feature you in my portfolio. Like, what would you think of that? Isn't that cool? Like, I was thinking of the people that I wanted to reconnect with, and I thought of you. And, sometimes we have to get a little bit out of our own head, because I remember, there are so many stories. I was even just asking my girlfriends today, and they told me a bunch of stories of just, like my girlfriend Stephanie was saying that she had a high school friend she hadn't talked to in 10 years, and they ended up getting together, and it was like amazing, just, reconnecting. And she bought like $200. It was just like a one-on-one appointment, and it was just great to catch up. So, I think people just get busy, and I really do think Mary Kay is a way to like reconnect people, and it's just like an excuse to get together, basically. So Jenny, that would be my number one tip for you, is just saying, I was thinking of people I wanted to reconnect with, and I was thinking of you, and I'd love to feature you in my portfolio, and it'd give us a chance to catch up too. So yeah, does anybody else here, because I know we have some seasoned consultants here, does anyone else have a great idea for that they want to share? Anybody? No, Cassie's just laughing at me. Okay, let's leave it. Okay, so any questions so far that anyone wants to ask? And then we're going to dive into referrals here and how to do that. Anybody? It is literally like a Brady Bunch on my computer. It's amazing. It's so fun. I love Zoom. Okay, so we're going to talk about referrals. So first off, you don't know what that means, we have the profile card that we have people fill out. And on the back, there are a bajillion spots for referrals. Now, the reason that I made this instead of, if you're a new consultant, you have the little pink and white cards that came in your starter kit. The reason why I made my own profile card is because if anyone here is in advertising, I took I'm a communication studies major, but I took an advertising class, and I think it's called the Gestalt principle. If you've ever seen that picture on the internet where it's just like a black and white drawing. If you look at it one way, it looks like an old lady. But if you look at it another way, it's like a totally different picture of something, meaning like your brain naturally wants to fill in missing information. And so the reason I made my own is because there are 19 spots for referrals instead of just 7. So people will just, I mean, there are some personalities that can't not fill things out. And so they'll just sit there and write and give you a whole bunch of people to call. So we're going to talk about how to get referrals. But first thing I want to tell you, I went to Seminar, which is our big business meeting in Dallas that we've been talking about. And I think it was the president of the company, they had done some market research with, so they had done focus groups of people who had recently tried Mary Kay products. And they had found that 82%, okay, so this was in my notes from like years ago, and this was years ago, 82% of people are ready to refer their friends to you. 82% of people. So that is like pretty much everybody is ready to refer their friends to you. They just don't know how to do it, and you don't know how to ask. And so that's what I'm going to teach you how to do. And I really like working with referrals because you know someone that they know. So it's not like a cold lead. And most of the time you just end up texting them because most people text nowadays. And, you know, going back to my story, the reason that I never contacted a referral is because I was terrified. Like, I would actually call people and hope that they wouldn't answer. That's how terrified I was of them actually answering the phone. So now we have texting, so you can kind of hide behind that. But I would encourage you to call because I do get really good results calling too. So 82% of your friends are ready to refer their friends to you. So here's how I do this. So I just want to show you guys something quick in case you don't know this. So if you go to our unit website, so I'm going to bring this up. Okay, not that. Okay, so this is our unit website. If you go to this education center, pretty much everything you need is under this education center. So we have audio training, video training, and documents. Most stuff is going to be in video training and documents. So if you click on this documents section, I just want to highlight this because people ask me a lot of questions like, oh, where do you have that profile card for the party? Where's your deal or no deal stuff? Check out this guy, everything you need to hold a great party. Pretty much everything that you will need is under this heading. So the customer profile card with tons of referral spots in the back, that's that card I was just holding up. An outline of my party. The exact words, like I have actually written out, and I downloaded this, guys, so you can see it. I've actually written out exactly what I say at my referral game. So what you could do, I know a lot of new consultants are printing out a flip chart. You can totally just like print this off and get out your old school glue stick and put this baby right on your flip chart so you can just kind of read it or, you know, make it your own while you're reading it. I have my how to play deal or no deal. I have that completely written out. I have deal or no deal postcards, how to play the first game, what to say at an individual consultation, how do I set up my trays, set sheets, and what do you think form. So everything you need is in this section. So I just kind of wanted to point that out so that you're not like, what is she talking about? Where do I get this stuff? It's all right here. And I'm going to actually put this, I'm going to put this Zoom thing on our website when I'm done with it on our video training center. So I actually have a whole video on here about meeting customers and networking. So these are all the different ideas that we have. So, I mean, you could watch that video and see which if you really legitimately feel like, yes, I have contacted everybody. There's not a single person that I haven't contacted, including, I got to get back to video here, including your chicken list. Now, If you don't know what a chicken list is, everybody's got a chicken list. I even have a chicken list. Everybody has a chicken list. People that you have not contacted that you are chicken to contact for whatever reason. Maybe some people that you haven't seen in a million years are on your chicken list, but maybe maybe they're just like a super high powered like neurosurgeon or something, and you're just like intimidated by them or something. There's always a reason why we are intimidated to ask somebody, but I would encourage you to ask the people on the chicken list, because I found is that usually the people you never think would want to do something like this are looking for something like this, like even just products wise. So don't be afraid to ask everybody. Okay, so referrals. Now I have, there are lots of different ideas to ask for referrals. I actually asked 7 very successful people in Mary Kay how they get referrals, and they pretty much all do it the same way that I do it. And so I was like, yes, like statistical analysis, proven. And so, there's these different games and these different sheets you can print out, and all of that's great, but it requires a lot more of you, like tracking who's putting people's names down, whatever. So the easiest way that I've done it is in between skincare and makeup, I play satin lip, or I put their satin lip mask on, and I just say, and this is in that document on my thing, like, we're gonna play a quick game while your lip mask is setting. Who here has ever seen a billboard with Mary Kay, or a commercial on TV, or an advertisement in a magazine? And some have and some haven't. We don't advertise a lot. So and so I say that we actually don't advertise a lot. So because of that, we work a lot based on referrals. So we're gonna play a game. So get your cell phone ready. I'm gonna give you guys 3 minutes. You gotta create like the competitive ones start getting sweaty and anxious at this point. So you gotta create some buzz around it. But you say, okay, we're gonna play a game. I'm gonna give you guys 3 minutes to think of anybody that you know who you think is overworked or under pampered or underappreciated, or you just think could use some pampering with Mary Kay. For every name and phone number you think of, they do have to be over 18 and in the area. You're gonna get a ticket towards our prizes. Now, this is the best investment you'll ever make, is a roll of tickets, because you can pretty much do anything with a roll of tickets. If you go to the dollar store, they come in flat packs. I mean, they're cheap. You can get them at Walmart, Office Max, because you can just give tickets for anything. Like, if you want people to hurry up because their tickets, say the first person who gets done gets a ticket, whatever. So you can give that to people too. So that's a great idea. So here are some tips. So, everyone, I give them a gift. I say, I give you a gift. If you're Miss Tons of Friends and you fill the whole card, I give you a purse size hand cream or a purse size mascara. The purse size mascaras are the sample mascaras, not the deluxe mini mascaras. Those are expensive. The samples, or the little itty bitty sample hand creams, or you could make up your own thing. Maybe they get a full size candy bar. I mean, women like candy. I actually had some Reese's peanut butter cups tonight. I was pretty excited about that. So whatever you want to give them some kind of gift for filling up the entire card. And here's the key. You have to say, ready, get set, and you have to say, go. Otherwise they're like, what are we doing? And once you say go, people go, oh my gosh, I gotta get my phone. And all of a sudden, like, the table disperses and everyone's going and looking for their phone. So definitely getting the referrals is really important. The other tip that I'm going to give you, and I learned this from a top sales director, and it's so funny because I did it at Jenny's house on last night, so she's going to laugh at me. But whenever you're done setting up the referral game, so you say ready, get set, go. Maybe you turn a song on your phone or Pandora or something. You have to leave the area, okay? So you have to go to the bathroom. So every time I set up the referral game, I go to the bathroom. Doesn't matter if you actually have to go to the bathroom, I still go to the bathroom. It's amazing though, when you've done enough parties, it's like that, the dog ringing the bell thing. You actually have to go to the bathroom. So I go in the bathroom, take my time, whatever. And here's why you do it. That way you're not standing over the table hovering while they're writing people down. Or if they're not writing anyone down, you're not sitting there feeling rejected. And a lot of times when I go in the bathroom, I hear conversation like, oh, you should write down, what are you writing down your coworkers, or can I write those people down? Like, you'll hear them discussing who they should write down, and they probably wouldn't have that discussion if you were standing over the table hovering. Or if you're the person that has a really, really hard time not talking to your guests, because if you're talking to somebody during the referral game, they're talking to you, they're not writing down referrals. So you just gotta I just have found taking yourself out of the situation is a really good idea. And it also gives you a chance to mentally regroup. And I kind of check out what soaps she has sitting on the counter, and you can learn a lot from someone based on what they have in their bathroom. So it's just kind of a fun little thing. So, and then I come out and I just, kind of gauge the group. If a lot of people in the group are writing, great. If not, I let them go for another minute. But if not, I just say, okay, everybody wipe off your lip mask, and you just move on, and you give them tickets for the names that they did write down. So if you don't know how to book the referrals yet, we can talk about that. Just get them, okay? Because even if you don't need them yet, you want to, referrals aren't super time sensitive. So if you have a lot of people in your life that you haven't asked, it's okay if you get these and don't necessarily call them right away, or text them. But I think it's important to have kind of a mixture of everything. So you're talking to people but then you can call these right away too, and you're going to have, you're just going to have that steady stream of bookings coming in, which is really fun. The other thing I want to mention just about referrals and about that prior thing that I was talking about, talking to people that you haven't talked to in a long time, or just people that you do know, is you need to contact people more than once. So if you text somebody or you call them and you don't hear anything from them, don't assume that that's a no. Pretty much assume that either their phone fell in the toilet or they're just busy, because that is 90% of the time the deal. So typically I never book people the first time I text or call them. It's always the second, third, and sometimes even the fourth time that I text or call somebody. And if you're a new consultant, in your new consultant packet, I actually have a page that has the referral dialogue that I use, and there's 3 different texts that I send over a couple of days. And usually on the second or third time, it is so funny. I get so many texts oh my gosh, I'm so glad you texted me. Because how many times we do this? I was just telling someone this last night. You look at your phone and you see a text and you're like, oh, I'll respond to that. But maybe you're at work or you're at lunch or you're at Target or something, and then it goes in your purse. You totally forget about it. And then 3 days later, I wake up at 2 a.m. and go, oh my gosh, I never responded to that text. Other people do that too. So it's really important to contact people more than once. So that is the referral game. Very, very important. Whether you need bookings or not, play the referral game no matter what. It's good practice. And there might come a time in your business when you do need the leads, and so you can always go back and work these referrals. So what questions do you girls have for me on booking people or referrals that you want to ask? So just go ahead and ask it. It doesn't, there's no stupid question. Cassie, your lips look so good. I just want to tell you that.
Thank you. I think it's funny how you're talking about the referral game though, because the last couple of times I did the referral game, these girls were so competitive that I didn't even get to say ready, set, go to get them excited. They were already going. They were so excited and I'm going to get more than the girl next to me, that they just went crazy. So I was like, all right, so you girls just go at it. But I already started the timer. So you guys already lost 20 seconds, trying to get them to hurry up and go through their phones and stuff. But I just thought of that when you said ready, set, go, because half the time I can get that out, and half the time they're so competitive that they're already going. So
right. Awesome. Anybody else have a question or comment or anything? Don't be scared, new people.
Emily.
Yeah.
It's Johanna. If you're in a group, if you find yourself in a group of women that maybe not be who you think is the target market, are you feeding them ideas of who to write down ever?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Thank you, Johanna. So yeah, okay. So one thing just really quick is let's say, okay, I love my college students. I know some of you are in college, but sometimes, and even college students would tell you this, right? Because I know Cassie said this before, and maybe even Megan too. sometimes when you're in college, you're broke, right? And so it's not that you can't do parties with college students. I do them pretty frequently, but like you don't want to be just consistently in the college market, for example, because you have to do so much more activity to get the same results than if you were in more of our target market. And so sometimes if I'm doing like a college party, instead of just saying, okay, write down, as many as you can, because they can all fill like 3 of these. Each one of them could fill 3 of these sheets. Instead, I'll do like, okay, we're going to play, I set it up the same way. Have you ever seen a billboard or a commercial on TV for Mary Kay? No. Okay, we work a lot based on referrals. So I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to think of anyone you know who's overworked, underpampered, underappreciated, could use some pampered with Mary Kay. Do you see that I've said this a million times? So you get good at it. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a fill in the blank game. So each line that you can fill in the blank, you're going to get a ticket. And so in blank number 1, and then you start thinking, you just think up stuff. Like in line number 1, think of someone you know who's a mom. Okay, and they write her name down. Okay, in blank number 2, think of someone you know who works a corporate job. Line number 3, think of someone you know who owns a house. Just like things you know what I mean? So the college student people are thinking of people other than just their college friends. They're thinking of like their mom or their aunt or their grandma or just somebody else in their life that has some of those things going on. So great point, Johanna. What else? What other questions do you guys have? Who's excited?
So
go ahead.
Whoever it was, you can go ahead.
No, go ahead, Cassie.
Okay. So I've ran into the problem where people are like, oh, I want to have a party, but I don't know who would want to come, or I don't have many friends here. I don't know enough people. How would you help them out?
Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that with Deal or No Deal, but the other magical thing about the referral game, this is my favorite thing in the whole world. I'll get people who have this entire card filled, and they'll say, like when we do a booking thing, they'll say, I just don't think I have anybody who would want to have a party. So you know what I do? I pick up her card and I go, what about these people?
Yeah.
You've got like 20 people in the back of here. So sometimes it's kind of like I was saying before, when we think in our head, nope, I've contacted everybody. Like, I'm not kidding. It's just they're not seeing the possibilities. And so sometimes just showing them like, okay, seriously, like you only need 2 people to come and you've got 20 in the back of here. Mm-hmm. But we'll get more into that with Deal or No Deal too. So any other referral game questions?
I was going to ask, so like, if you fill the whole sheet,
mm-hmm.
and then you're saying like, if you give away like a sample mascara or whatever,
mm-hmm.
How do we, where do we get the samples from?
Good question. So you actually get them on, you know what I'm going to do? See if I can pull this up. So when you're placing an order, I'm going to bring up my Mary Kay InTouch here quick, so you guys can see this. So it's under section 2. Now you don't want to go crazy with this stuff because samples and stuff cost you money. Okay, let me bring this up so you guys can see it too. Share screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so this is what the ordering window looks like. So if you go under product samples and you go under mascara samples here, I don't know if it shows. Yep, so they're just like the itty bitty ones. So you get a pack of 6 for $2. So where are all my math geniuses? 275 divided by 6. So they're 46 cents each. But if they have to fill the whole card, so they're giving you 19 names for 46 cents. Totally worth it. And then the mini hand creams, if you go under the product samples again, and you go under body care samples at the bottom, I almost forgot where it was, so you don't even have to know. And you can choose either the fragrance-free or the white tea and citrus. These are a little more pricey. These are, you get 12 of them for $8. So, but again, they're giving you 19 names. And I still think it's like so much easier to get referrals than some of the other ways that we meet women. Not that they aren't bad or anything. It's just more time consuming and more resources and whatever. So I just think it's worth giving them like a little gift for writing that down. But yeah, that's where you find them, is under this section 2 part here. You want to stay away. Okay, so there's this other thing called deluxe minis. These are things that you give away if they purchase $40 or more. Now, this is not just a quick sidebar so that I'm not confusing anyone. You don't give this to people at parties who order $40 or more. This is people who reorder from you, who are already your customers, who place a reorder, or like, quarterly order with you or something that's $40 or more. You don't give these away at your parties, and you don't use the mascaras out of here because those are $2 each. That would be a lot. You're just giving them like a little sample. So good question, Jenny. What other questions you guys have?
Well, one thing I was going to say is sometimes with the referral and like make sure that clear that a party is like them plus 2 or 3 women, because I think a lot of people assume when you say party that like there's going to be 40 people at their house, Yeah. And I like today I had to clarify that with someone. She's like, well, I can't have like a party. And I'm like, no, I'm talking like a couple people. Like, I don't know if it's like other like experience with other direct sales companies, just people's assumption that like party means like a lot of people, but I would just make sure I confirm that too ahead of time so that people like know what they're signing up for.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so I'm gonna go through one more thing and then we'll be done. So I just wanna, the other thing, so the 2 ways to network from your party is the referral game, and the second one is getting bookings from your parties. This is the best because here's what I love. So I'm in this group of people right now. I have another party with them on Friday night. And this is the, 6th party with these people. Like every time they have new friends, but it's like this group of 4 or 5 that come every time. So it's like the 5 plus then they have like 3 or 4 new ones. So it's always a big party. It's like 8 or 9 people. I feel like I'm their besties now because we've seen each other a million times. They buy new products every time. And what's amazing is every time I see them, it's like I just stand there. I don't even have to do the party at this point because they're selling all of their friends. They're like, oh my gosh, like they all bought the facial peel last time. So I know at this next party, they're going to tell whoever these poor new girls that are there, you guys all have to get the facial peel. Like it's just, when you have people at your parties who've been to a couple of your parties, they start doing the selling for you. They're telling all their friends about all the amazing things that they did at the last party. So there's a lot of power in booking parties from your parties. Plus it's easy. All you have to do is like book it. You don't have to call anybody or convince anybody. You just book it. So now back when I started Mary Kay, I did not book parties from parties because there just wasn't a fun way to do it. I just didn't get it. So back then we were taught what's called the correct booking approach. Now there's nothing wrong with this. It's just, I was terrified. That's what it was. It was my fear. But basically what we would do is at the end of the party, when we would meet with people, we'd say, at every party, I select 2 awesome women to be my hostesses. And tonight I've selected you. So, can we get together with a few friends and do your follow-up appointment or whatever. And I was just too terrified to even ask. So basically, like on a good party, I would maybe get 1 or 2 bookings. Then maybe 6 or 7 years ago, this idea came called Deal or No Deal. And the first 2 months that it was out, I didn't get it. I was like, what? I'm so confused. I don't get how this works. And then I heard some people were doing it and I saw it done in person and I was like, okay, that's kind of silly. I would never do that. And then, I remember it. So prior to this, a good party, I would get 1 booking. And it was like once a month, I would get 1 booking at 1 party. Okay, so it's like 1 booking from a party per month. I heard about this idea and I decided on a whim one night. I remember it was in Le Sueur, Minnesota. I had a party of 7 women. And I played Deal or No Deal for the first time. I was horrible at it. Okay, so you didn't have to be good at this. I booked 5 out of 7. So can you imagine getting 1 booking per 1 party per 1 month and all of a sudden going to 1 party and getting 5? All of a sudden it was like I saw so many possibilities that I had never seen before. I'm like, wow, you could really multiply this guy like super quick. So I kept playing it and I kept getting good at it. And to this day, you know, you'll hear all these other booking ideas and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with those, but this is still the number one idea that gets you bookings from your bookings. And it's fun. The number one thing I used to have, so, you know, you guys have all seen me do a party or you've been to one. You know how I have people fill out these 1 to 10 forms at the end? I used to have a question on here. If there was anything that you could change about tonight, what would it be? And do you know what almost like 90% of people would write in that square? They would write more games. Like, can we play more games? And I'm like, seriously? Like, I play so many games at the party. If you guys have been to my parties, it's like we're giving tickets for everything, playing purse games. And so people like to play games. That's what I've learned. So, so deal or no deal. Now, the devil is in the details, right? Sometimes I see people get hung up. They won't play it because they haven't made the cards and laminated them. Now, the only reason I made these and laminated them is because I wanted them to last longer because I was holding so many parties. If you don't have time before your party, like say you got a party this weekend and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't make my deal or no deal cards. Who cares? This is what you do. You get some boring envelopes and you put whatever, you know how I have different like free bonuses written on the back. You just like, I mean, I remember the first time I played it, I just took some boring white envelopes and used a colored marker and said deal or no deal on the front. And then inside, I literally just took a piece of paper that I had cut like this, or no, I might have even used these, wrote whatever the bonus was, folded it and stuck it in the envelope. And then I just held out these envelopes at the end instead of the cards. So don't think like, you know, sometimes we hold ourselves back because we feel like we got to scrapbook these things or something. So don't feel like you have to do that. So basically you can either write deal or no deal or have this picture. I do have this on that website under that section I was showing you. And then on the other side, I have different bonuses. Now you can pick whatever you want. I only have 3 different ones. I have 1 free color product of your choice. And color product is like a cosmetic, not skincare. So it's eyeliner, lip liner, mascara, lip gloss, you know, like a color product. Some have 50% off any one item. I do that because it doesn't cost me anything to do that because, you know, we get it for 50% off. You maybe could do 30% off if you still want to make a little money. And then the other one I have is a travel roll-up bag, but I only put like 1, maybe 2. Yeah, I only have 1 travel roll-up bag in here because those get expensive, but, you know, they're always excited to have it. Now, just one quick tip. You want to give away enough that people are excited to have a party with you, but not so much that they're like, oh my, that you're eating your profit in hostess credit. But you have to think this too. Would you clean your house and have your friends over for your hostess program? If you're not excited about it, you need to switch it. But for the most part, I book a lot. I mean, I even had some women, like I had this party of like, they were all lawyers. And they were like excited about my deal or no deal bonuses. So yay. So basically what you do at the party, and again, this is all entirely written out how I say it on my website, is, okay, so at the end of the party, I just say, okay, we're going to play deal or no deal. And like Natalie had shared, I always say to count as a Mary Kay party, you have to be really clear on this. To count as a party, now you point. You got to use use your finger. It's you and 2 other women we haven't met with before. So you point to her and then 2. That's it. It's only 2. Like you don't have to have your whole house full of people. Now, one thing is I like to use the power of suggestion to sort of give them an idea of the party that I'm looking for. So for example, I say it has to be you and 2 women I haven't met with before. But 5, I don't know, but this is kind of a fun size, or 5 or 6 is kind of a fun size. The party of 5 or 6 is my favorite. It's like the ideal size because it's not so big, but it's a little bit bigger that you're getting more of that fun dynamic. So if you want people, you should try this on your significant other. Do you want to unload the dishwasher tonight? Just like nod your head. It works. You're going to all be like, oh my goodness, Yeah, you do. So it's the same thing in our business. Like, you know, you get people, it's amazing how people just start doing that when you're doing it. So, you know, I think 5 or 6 is kind of a fun size. Now, you don't want to be a huge dork about it like I just was. You kind of want to be a little more subtle. So we're going to play deal or no deal. Now, in my experience, you have to be very clear at the beginning what it means. Meaning like this. If you say no deal, it means you don't want to book a party. Okay? If you say deal, it means you want to book a party. It's like you have to be this simple about it. So now if you say deal, now you explain it. Now if you say deal, that means you want to get together with a few friends. You can either tell them where they can do it. You can either do your party at your house or at my house or at one of my fun makeover events in Rochester or Edina. And when you do that, you're going to get a shopping spree. And this is where you say what your hostess program is. I do 75 for 35 because that's what the company recommends. So if you say 75 for 35, nobody knows what that means. I think it took me a good year to figure out what that actually meant. So instead I say you get $40 off a purchase of $75 or more. People get what that means because, you know, you get little coupons from JCPenney or, you know, Limited or wherever you shop where it's like, you know, come in and spend 70, you get 20 bucks. So you get $40 off a purchase of $75 or more. Plus, you're going to get to choose one of my bonuses. Ooh, you have to be dramatic a little bit. Not super dramatic, just a little bit. And each one of these has a fun extra bonus you're going to get at your party. And you kind of explain what maybe some of them are. Now, you could do something different. You could do like a free eyeliner. Like you could itemize out different products on the back of here that they would get or that they would get half price or something. I don't know. Everybody does it different. Now, another key thing, all of the free stuff, you're not going to get it tonight. You're going to get it at your party because they'll be ordering and they're thinking they're getting that tonight. And it's like, no. Okay. So make sure you're clear on that. But what you do get tonight, so I like to give them something, is you get 5 door prize tickets towards our drawing. So I'm going to come around and say deal or no deal. Now, just a question. So nobody say the answer right away, but I want you to think of, okay, if you're at a party of women, who should you ask deal or no deal first? Okay, so think of the answer in your head. Who do you think you should ask first? And who are my seasoned girls who know?
One that's going to say yes.
Yes, the one that you think oh, Trisha's raising her hand. That's adorable. She's like, I love you. You're a little follower. I love it. The person you know is going to say yes, like the girl who's most excited, the girl you just know she wants to book a party with you because she is like having a blast. Like the one that you think is going to say yes, ask her first. Now, it doesn't mean the one that you ask first is always going to say yes, but it's just a good place to start. And so I fan out my little cards and I just say, okay, Natalie, deal or no deal? And she says no deal. And I always tell them like, I'm going to buzzer you if you say no deal because I like drama. And I'm always a little bit dramatic just because it's fun. Now, I've had so many people over the years, directors, people driving cars included, who say, Emily, I can't play deal or no deal because I'm not fun like you. I'm like, really? Okay, if you feel like you are not fun, here's my tip. Drink a Diet Coke before your party. The caffeine will just be coursing through your veins and it will bring out the best for you. But you guys, I know I've met all of you. You are all fun in your own way. And you don't have to be like super duper dramatic. You just have to play the game or drink a Diet Coke and then play the game. Or whatever sort of caffeinated beverage of your choice. So, but it is kind of rare that I don't get at least one booking using this method from the party. Now, sometimes you'll go up to someone and they're like, well, I don't know. And I'll just like say, okay, well, I'm going to come back to you. Like if they're being indecisive, move on to the next person. And let's see, what are some other tips for this? So, that's really it. It's super simple. You just have to do it. And here's my challenge. So I really want to challenge everyone on this video to do this, or if anyone's watching this after the fact. My challenge to you at your next party, okay? Now, I have found that most of the time, even seasoned consultants, but a lot of times new consultants, they're so worried about selling the product. And you guys, you would have saw my first party, you'd be like, wow, anyone can sell product. The product really does kind of sell itself. They're going to feel their skin. They're going to look amazing. I mean, yeah, you're talking about it and stuff and you're doing things, but I don't think that you need to really focus on selling. I would say the number one focus at your party should be the networking piece. So the referral game and the booking game. So my challenge to you is at your very next party, I want you to play the game. Even if you're scared, even if you don't think you're good at it, even if your envelopes look like this, I just want you to play the game. I dare you to play the game, okay? And you'll find, you know, just like I had mentioned earlier, that, you know, that temporary thought, like, you know what, I have no idea how to play Deal or No Deal now, but I'm going to learn and I'm going to practice. And you can even say, so sometimes what I do is I'll tell people, I'm going to play this game. I've never played it before, so I'm practicing on you guys. You guys will have to tell me what you think of it when I meet with you. So just flat out tell them, I'm practicing this. So then it's not like, you know, this huge pressure that you have to be amazing at it. So what I would recommend doing is going to that section on mkemily.com, printing off the referral game and Deal or No Deal and memorize it. And then I want you to start playing it with everyone. So you get the dog out and you start playing Deal or No Deal with the dog. And then you get your significant other and you start playing Deal or No Deal with them. You Deal or No Deal the mirror a bunch of times. You Deal or No Deal, I don't know, whoever, your dad. I mean, whoever is in your space, just practice this on. Get your teddy bears out, line them up, and ask for referrals. Nobody's going to write anything down, but just it practice makes permanent. It doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. And so just kind of drilling that into your mind. And then again, you can utilize your tickets too. So, and what I love about this is at the end of the party, you know, going into it, who is booking with you. So you can just go, I mean, there's no like awkward, like, hey, do you want to book? Don't you? It's like, okay, you already told me you wanted to book. Because basically the name of this game is do you want to book or don't you? Even though it's called Deal or No Deal. So you know, going into that that's the case. There was something I was just going to tell you guys about this. I can't remember. Okay, so what questions do you guys have? This is kind of our last like main thing, so you're not overloaded, but very important thing. So what questions do you guys have?
So I have one. So you know how we talk about like overcoming objections with people who we might consider like bringing onto our team,
Yeah.
like ahead of time before it like becomes an objection. Just doing that with like looking to book parties. Like, do you bring up like things that they might say, like, no, I can't book a party because I don't know these people, or no, I don't book a party because blah, blah, blah. Like, do you bring that up ahead of time, or do you like wait until they give you the excuse and then try to like counter it then?
No, I try to overcome some of the so like that's why at the beginning I say it just has to be you and two women, so that sort of already overcomes like I don't know anybody, because everybody should know two people. I also try to say like, oh, you know, you can either do it at your home or mine, or if you don't want to clean your house, I do makeup events. So then that sort of eliminates them thinking, oh my gosh, I have to clean my house. Because that really stresses out some people, like cleaning their house. So if you offer up your place, if you're willing to do that, or like our makeup events, it makes it super easy for them. So that kind of eliminates that. And, you know, really people are all dialed into what's in it for me. So they really like the free stuff. But more than that, people book parties because they want to have fun, because it's a way to reconnect with their girlfriends. That's why this group that I'm in, where like it's the 6th party that we've done, I'm like, you guys I asked them last time, I'm like, are you guys sick of me yet? They're like, no, we always have so much fun. And like, we get to reconnect with each other. And basically it's always a Friday night and they always have wine that they drink. I mean, it is like the same thing every time, but it's giving them an excuse to reconnect. So you're going to have people who say no, and that's fine. But I think, yeah, just kind of when you're setting it up, that helps do that. What other questions you guys have? New people, you feel like you can do this? Gina's laughing at me. Sam, you have any questions? Jenny, Katie, Catherine, Megan, Gina?
So you said that you had those people that continually have you do the party.
Mm-hmm.
If if people are doing that, but they're not really buying product and they're not bringing new people, like, is it okay to say no?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, every single one of these parties that I've done, I think the lowest one was like just shy of $400. Like they're buying a lot. It's rare. I think that would. Have you had that happen?
No, I was just thinking of what if situations because that's what I do.
Yeah. No. So just to recap, they do have to have at least 2 people you haven't met with before. I'm really cool if they have people I have met with before, but they have to have at least 2. And again, I say that when I'm setting up the game, like it's you and 2 women that I haven't met with before. Okay, not just you and 2, because then they'll just keep getting like the same group. But honestly, all of the times that I'm thinking of where I've had like a booking chain like that, where it's like constantly the same people, they almost always rebuy. Like they buy stuff at every party. And sometimes at the party, so at the party before, they'll say, well, at the next party, like I know 3 of the girls said, at the next party, I really want to get the that moisture renewal gel mask. So like they've already got a list of things they know they're going to buy this next time. So it's rare that would happen. But yeah, good point, Gina. If you're at a party and they're rude, I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but like you're just not feeling it, or just you'll know when you're in a situation like that. Sometimes I won't even play the booking game. I want to work with people that I want to work with. So it's okay to not play this game, but that's like 2% of the time. So just tell yourself in your head that you're going to do it no matter what every time. And then you'll know when those situations happen and they'll fall where they may. Because otherwise, if you tell yourself that too often, you'll just be like, oh, I have a hangnail today. I don't feel like playing Deal or No Deal. Or, and it's based on our fear and not that we don't actually want to book with them. So just kind of check that. But no, yeah, totally. One of the best benefits of Mary Kay is we pick who we work with. So this is not like your normal corporate job or whatever where you have to work with who you work with. You get to pick. What other questions you guys have? Anybody? Was this helpful? Give me a thumbs up if it was helpful. Okay, good. Excited. You guys are cracking me up. Anything else? Any other comments or anything that you guys want to add?
I do have one question.
Sure, Megan.
So that sheet, like when bringing up at parties that like to see if they want to join Mary Kay or become like a consultant, is that sheet also on your website?
It is. Let me show you really quick. Okay, so if you go under documents, okay, oh, look at that. It's under everything you need to hold a great party. It's what do you think 1 to 10 forms I use after the purse game. So here they are. Boop. So yeah, all on my website. Trying to think if there's anything else. Booking, there's lots of booking ideas on here, 99 different booking ideas. That gives you some different things. Lots of things. This also has I think it has my referral dialogues and stuff, but it's also in your new consultant packet too. So once you get the referrals, that's a separate little training we could do. Just get them. That's all you gotta do. So my challenge to you is to play the game, play both games, and I want to hear how it goes. Okay. And if you want to, you're a seasoned consultant, I'd love it if next time you do a party, just turn on the little recording app on your phone and record yourself doing it and listen to yourself. Or you can send it to me and I'll listen to it, because it's amazing. Like when you listen to it, that's a really great way to improve too. And then new consultants, my challenge to you too is to really think about who you know and who you haven't asked yet, and using that like either a portfolio project and saying, I've been thinking about who I'd like to reconnect with to work on my portfolio project and I thought of you. So, and really, really connect with everyone you know, because honestly, like I love working with people I don't know. And it's funny because everybody who signs wants to get out of their friends and family right away. But there's so many great people that you guys already know that are already excited about Mary Kay products or would love a makeover or are actually looking for. I meet people every day who are like, oh my gosh, I really need skincare products to take care of acne or uneven skin tone. And so we have the privilege to be able to show them some of that stuff, which is cool. Anything else? All right, awesome. You guys did so good. We're out of time. So thank you for being on. And don't forget my challenge to play your games and let me know, like text me or Voxer me and say, hey, I did it. Oh my gosh, I did referral game and Deal or No Deal. And then seasoned people, I want you to record it. Or new people, you can record it too if you want me to help you out with it. So sound good? Awesome. You guys have a great night. Thank you. Thank you.